Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Vinnie Eastwood Show. My very special guest right at this very moment is known as William Donatello, formerly with the Ninja Turtles. Welcome back, and we were talking about Rick Simpson. In fact, I was just messaging Rick to see if he'd want to come on, but unfortunately he left the house just 10 minutes ago, so his girlfriend tells me, so that's unfortunate. But I'll send them a link and an archive to the show anyway, to pop up on their website, because we're all helping each other in this movement, and essentially if you got some content that is supportive of other people, usually just let them know about it, so at the very least they might be able to spread it. The more content in support of Rick Simpson, the frickin' better, I say. Who knows, might just save a life someday. Welcome back. And can I ask you to elucidate, how exactly did you get into this Rick Simpson oil fiesta, if you will? I mean, did you just watch the documentary and then just go, wow, you know what, I'm going to do that?
Yes, that was basically the way it happened for me. But at the same time, I grew up in a Western country in this day and age where a lot of people could relate to this, losing family members from cancer. Grandparents, both my grandparents were taken by cancer. I was lucky to have influences in my life that actually directed me towards preserving your own health and natural health empowerment, rather than whenever you get sick, there's something wrong with me, I better go to the expert, the doctor sort of mentality. And I believe that's another big obstacle that we're facing here is, besides this propaganda about the plant and demonisation of it, is they're so well trained to go to an authority outside of themselves and submit to that and hand over their power, rather than being empowered to do their own healing and to make their own medicine. I think that's one of the biggest problems with the hemp oil right now, is people are too scared to do it. And I mean, there's lots of things, lots of reasons why people can come up with for that. But basically, I think it's fear.
Yeah, well, fear stops a lot of people. I mean, just have a look at the Bradley Manning case. Dude comes out, reveals a whole bunch of documents exposing scumbaggery within the U.S. administration and their war efforts in Iraq and what have you. And so they jail him for the rest of his frickin' life. And so naturally, everybody else who might do the same thing gets really too afraid to do so.
That's right. And I think it's the same thing with me. I just wasn't afraid to give it a go, I suppose. I made the oil not long after watching the documentary, because I did know people that had cancer and other ailments that it might help. And I've seen nothing but success. A lady that I actually made the oil for, she was very, very religious and was told by church authorities that it was evil and against God, and unfortunately only took the oil when the pain got too unbearable as a pain relief, and instead of using it medicinally each day to try and defeat the cancer. So she ended up passing away. Like I said, I lost both grandparents to cancer. A lot of my friends at school, at age 19, I lost friends to cancer, 21. It's just all around me, and all around all of us in Western countries these days. People are falling apart with all sorts of illnesses, and cancer is one of the worst ones to watch people go through, especially when they go through the orthodox treatment. The cut poison burn avenue that the doctors offer. And in Australia, Vinny, the Minister of Health has said the government will provide $29.7 billion of the 2013 to 2014 budget to pay chemotherapy providers more money. Now, that is absolute insanity when chemotherapeutic drugs have been proven since 97. This is the 2013 to 2014 budget. In 97, it was proved that it's 97% ineffective, does not work. Well,
What's the
What sort of
percentage? What's the percentage of survival? I heard that the survival rate of it was between 3 and 5% or something like that. Would survive 5 years of chemotherapy. And
yeah,
what was it? If a
3%. So
cure,
97%, it doesn't work. It does not cure. It does not fix people 97% of the time.
see, that's even worse than the placebo effect. They'd be
Yeah,
better off just giving them a sugar pill and saying this cures cancer, bro. Just go for your life.
yeah. I think that the 3% that make it are them really strong-willed people that have that amazing power of belief. You know, I'm at the
I don't know.
doctor's,
I don't know
the
about
doctor's
that.
treating me. I'm going to get better, and you know, the spontaneous, you know, miraculous abilities of the body to heal itself with the power of belief is phenomenal as well, documented.
I don't know if that's entirely the case with this thing, because it doesn't matter how strong your belief is, a bullet's still going to kill you. And as far as I'm concerned, that's what chemotherapy is. It's an execution. It's a firing squad. But I did meet somebody outside Auckland Hospital when we were protesting about the vitamin C being banned as a use for cancer treatment and to cure swine flu and so on and so forth. And the
Intravenous vitamin C.
Yeah, that's right. And a woman comes out and she says, I did chemotherapy and I was cured. And then it was just like, really? And she goes, yeah, well, I also did homeopathy and naturopathy and a whole bunch of other things. And you go, really? So you did two things that are known to cure cancer and one thing that is known to kill the patient, and you think it's the thing that is known to kill the patient that cured you of the cancer. Is that right?
Look, I have met people as well that have been cancer-free after chemotherapy. You know, I have met people like that, and they're amazing people. The one thing that these people I find in common is their friends always say that while they were looking at this person in the hospital bed, saying they look like death warmed up, their attitude was always, smiling, happy, never give up. Nah, I'm getting better. I'm making it through it. That sort of attitude seems to be a common denominator among people that survive the chemotherapy. But I could not imagine me having a smile on my face if I was suffering like I've seen chemotherapy people receivers suffer.
Yeah, I can't get up the stairs because I'm so dizzy, and my skin has turned yellow, and I'm puking on myself. Just on my way to get a cup of water from the kitchen. I'm gonna survive this. This is great.
Careful.
See, it doesn't quite fit. It doesn't quite fit in there.
That's right. Be careful of the acidic urine drops on the toilet seat. Don't sit on them. You'll burn your ass.
It's like an alien or something.
Exactly.
Hey, dig this. Speaking of funny thing, here's a funny story for you. You know how they give you radioactive iodine in the chemotherapy, right? Well, you'll love this story. Okay, you come out of Natural News. There was in New York, they're now putting in radiation detectors in some of the buses as well. So, like, just in case a terrorist that the CIA armed comes into New York and decides to get on a bus with a dirty bomb, that it'll set off the radiation alarm. And what's happening is these alarms have been going off because they're picking up people from the hospital that have been given radioactive iodine. And they give off the same signature of radiation as a dirty bomb. That's good for you. That'll cure you, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can look at someone before when they're diagnosed with cancer and look at them after the treatment, and they're supposed to look better when you're healing. They look worse. They look like they're dying. After chemotherapy, that's not medicine. That for some reason, our logic, our common sense has just completely been thrown out. And, I mean, there's a story, I'm not sure, Vinny, if you're familiar with Cash Hyde.
No.
No, he was a 2-year-old boy in America he was born in 2008, and he was diagnosed with brain cancer at a really, really young age, brain tumours. Well, his parents put him right through the chemotherapy and so on, and eventually, they never took him off the chemotherapy, but they started giving him the hemp oil. Now, he recovered, completely made it through the chemotherapy without any chemotherapy drugs other than no painkillers, nothing, just the hemp oil and the chemotherapy. Normally there's a whole cocktail of other drugs that go in with the chemotherapy. He survived for 2 more years. But, I mean, you know, I followed the blog quite a lot because I was really interested. I really wanted to see this beautiful young boy survive. It was a very sad story and made it to the mainstream news in America. But, I mean, they were eating at TGI Fridays and McDonald's and really heavily involved with Ronald McDonald House and all these you know, foundations and corporations that are just so pro-cancer. And eventually the young boy received, you know, full radiation as well, and you know, absolutely tragically passed away in 2012 on the 14th of November. But he had full cranial and spinal radiation, all of the modern treatments, and his parents swear by, you know, they're really, really supportive of the hemp oil.
Yeah. Hey, and what I wanted to do, I'm just going to show the listeners who are watching on the video now something. This is Patrick Swayze before chemotherapy. He's smiling, he's healthy, he's happy. This is Patrick Swayze after chemotherapy, who looks like, for lack of a better word, death. I mean,
so basically, there's a picture of a man with cancer and then a picture of a man that just had the cure for cancer. I mean, according to the Western establishment.
Yeah. We'll be right back after the break, ladies and gentlemen, with William Donatello from Australia. Don't you go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, and please support this broadcast. Go to thevinnieeastwoodshow.com and subscribe for $5 a month today. Back in a minute.
If you take an active interest in maintaining the optimum health and well-being of yourself and your family, the New Zealand Journal of Natural Medicine is the magazine you've been waiting for. Having taken Australia and New Zealand by storm, the New Zealand Journal of Natural Medicine is now available in the UK and Europe. Visit www.nznaturalmed.co.uk or call 01626 337 531 to order your copy now.